Okay, Don, I guess we'll get going here then. 7:01, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting for September 10th to order. First order of business on the agenda will be the call for pecuniary interest. I don't believe there's anything in there.
I think you don't know idea what's in cameras, but otherwise.
No, it won't be changing anybody, I don't believe, right, Donna?
No,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. We're still having some in camera?
Yeah, just on one topic.
Okay. Are there any additions or deletions for the agenda?
Your worship additions, the chili cook-off for Warburg as information, and
Where
that
do you
could
want to
go
put that?
5.1. Oh, just a minute, sorry, hold it, sorry, my apologies. Correspondence, 10.1. And the fire services training program grant from Minister McIver as 10.2.
10.2, right? All right, anything else? If not, can I get a motion to accept the agenda with that addition? Those additions?
Go ahead, Joel.
You, all in favor? That is carried. All right, so, without further ado, we'll get right into the council's reports, and I'll start with mine there. So the month of August, August the 8th, Warburg Cloverleaf, I planned to attend, but something came in last minute. Did anybody go to the one there?
No, they ended up going back to California a day early, I missed it.
Okay, and you went, Shelley?
Tracy and I went together.
Okay, so you got on your report? Did you talk
Sure.
about it? Okay, good. Thank you. August the 17th, I attended, went over to the complex. They had the bike races with the gravel, and it was excellent. Man, I couldn't believe all of the stuff that they had over there. I actually talked to the president, Alex, here Saturday, and they were ecstatic with the response they got, and they figured that next year it's going to be double what they had this year. And they talked with, he was talking with MP Harold Soroka there, and he said they're looking to get some money, and they're going to spend it our way, so everything is looking really good for that. It was a beautiful day, and we had some rain, and next year they want to have it much bigger and better, so that's good.
Can I add to that, Joe?
Yeah.
Rosemary Zurich had a family that participated in that, and yes, they said that Thorsby was looking really great, and the race was excellent, well laid out, and it was a great day for it.
Was there something?
Son and daughter-in-law, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, and yeah, that they were impressed with the grounds at the rec complex, that they were put together nicely.
No, it was really a really good thing, and like I said, they didn't have a whole bunch of people there, but next year will be much better. All right, and then other than that, we had our regular council meeting on August 27th, and that's the July. This month will be a little more, I think. Anybody have any other questions? No. Corey?
Honestly, yeah, no, like I said, I was in California the first 3 weeks, and the regular council at the end of the month there, and I say, other than some, informal phone calls and meetings, nothing really exciting.
Perfect, okay, thank you. No other questions? John, can't be making it, up at Rocky Mountain House yet, so he sent his apologies. Tracy, go ahead.
August 7th and 8th, I was Commissioner of Oaths duties. August 8th, I went to the Warburg Cloverleaf Manor barbecue. August 24th, CIB provided a barbecue for the Lone Wolf Car Show that I helped out with. And August 28th was potluck senior meeting. Right back. Backwards. It was a seniors meeting. It was a potluck seniors meeting. Yeah, there was potluck of seniors. So that was my month of August. It was not as busy as usual, but it was good.
No, was hard.
It's not like all different committees and stuff, on holidays.
And the August chamber meeting, I was absent from because I was at the meeting here. They put it onto the same night, so I couldn't be at 2 places at once. I chose you.
I was going to mention, I forgot, it hasn't happened yet, but it will be next week. They're just on September 18th. There's the playing the place wine and cheese thing as well. It's kind of same as Cloverleaf, but then you go.
Okay.
You guys went to it last year, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see you either.
I don't Wonderful, same with you.
What date? September
It's
18th.
Wednesday, 18th.
Thank you.
That's a really good.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Councilor Rash.
So, on August 8th, Tracy and I attended the Warburg Cloverleaf barbecue and met some interesting people. There was good entertainment. The weather was really hot, it was really nice. And then I forget what it's called, but the gravel race I as well had hung around there a little bit because my girlfriend was participating in that. So it was quite lovely. They got the rain on the Friday because then the gravel was not dusty on Saturday when they did the race. And then I did go attend some of the car show and check that stuff out the other weekend. And that was basically my August. Not too much going on.
Right, yeah, I forgot I was at the car show too. Yeah, next month, we'll be talking about
That was impossible to miss, I just attended because it was like down the road for me, it's hard to be like not to that. I had to check where all the noise was if nothing else, but.
All right, well, thanks for that. Let me get a motion to accept the council report for information.
I'll make that motion.
Tracy, all in favor? That is carried, and so we'll get into the CA reports. CA, Donna, please.
Thanks, your worship. For the month of August, provided information to the chamber from the town structural engineer for the safe and appropriate anchoring of their RP statue within Taylor Park. The chamber took that very seriously, and of course, I looked at it Saturday and I noticed the Hilti bolts and everything were right, and they'd expanded the base as per our structural engineer's suggestion. So it's anchored properly. Met with a neighboring county CAO for informative discussions with respect to water. Assisted with the vehicle registration for the Lone Wolf Show and Shine from 9 to noon that day. Got to meet lots of cool people and top vehicles and all that kind of stuff. Working with various monument companies to effect proper placement of the grave monuments. We have the funeral homes that I've been working with. They're not placing names of the deceased, and they're not called graves anymore now. They are earth burials. They're not placing the name of the deceased on their funeral home marker. So we don't know who's buried where. So we've straightened that out as of today. And that won't be happening again, or it can be reported, and I don't have a problem doing that. We worked with our planner and engineer to properly get the required documents completed for the new subdivision. We're still working with that, and we're having a conference call tomorrow afternoon to do some final stuff to help out G&N, which is pretty standard. Chatted with the Lions regarding the lifespan of their clock. They indicated to us it's old, and we could do what we wanted with it. I asked for a resolution from their Lions Club meeting. We can't fix it. We just can't fix it. It's unfixable. Yeah. Yeah, the whole mechanism, I think I've got that right, Andrew. What do you call that box?
The control.
Thank you. The control box, the control panel is shot. So we can either not worry about it, just set the hands to 5 o'clock and cut the wire.
Somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Or noon.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, if we're a little bit off and a siren goes off, we're in trouble. So I've asked them, to give me a resolution what they want to do with it and what they want to see in it, if they want to see anything or donate something. If not, we'll just leave it there because I don't know what we put in, it's expensive right now clocks aren't really good in this climate, right? It's lasted a long time, but it's there, so they'll give me some direction, and we'll probably just cut the wire and set it to a time and leave it for a while till we know what to do. So I think 5 o'clock's kind of a fun thing. Assisted Public Works with a request to the city of Leduc to lease or rent the hydrant meter. So the carnival needed water, and we needed to be able to meter it for them to build them. So we phoned the city of Leduc. They graciously lent us a hydrant meter. For no charge. We offered to lease it, rent it, whatever. They said, nope, just take it. And so that was really nice of them, and I asked the chamber to put them on as a sponsor for the day. Raw water pump is, I can update this, it's still being scheduled for pulling. We pulled it today. We tried last week and it was raining, so I was there this afternoon while the crane and everything were pulling it. It has about a 30-foot shaft on it. The pump seems to be it seems to be okay, it's the shaft that's seized. So they're gonna take a look at it, but they know we're gonna get a new one and that's on order, but we just gotta figure out why the shaft's seized. So the shaft is 25 feet, and it's got the impellers in each joint, there's a set of impellers that move the water upwards. So they're seized right from the bottom up, but the pump seems to be okay, so I can see, where the pump guys might have thought the pump failed, but anyways, we're gonna get the new one, we're gonna have the pump looked at and inspected, so. Pulled that out today, that was a pretty slick operation with the pump company and the big wrecker, with the boom, so it's pretty cool. I even have pictures if anybody wants to look. August saw us set up, then it rained and we had to get the crane out of there for safety, so it was a little bit of mud bogging back there. It was kind of fun, actually. My truck does do pretty good on 4x4. We're still liaising with legal for certain lease negotiations. We haven't heard much yet, so that's still in hiatus or suspension. We're starting the budget process internally, so we're starting to get things ready to start with the department heads and everything, start seeing what we need, what we want, what we wish for, what we can afford. Talked to the Haymaker Center on grant opportunities. They've seen the ones I sent them and they're working on, which is good. And met with Vice President of ATCO in Red Deer on a recovery emergency management exercise for the spring. She's worked for ATCO for a long time and then ended up coming back from City of Edmonton back to ATCO, and she's in their emergency management. So we talked about the different scenarios about what we could do, and I said I'm pretty adamant about a recovery scenario because there's a lot of consultants out there doing the after stuff, but they're not doing, like they're debriefing what happened, but they're not setting up for the future. So what Kayla and I talked about, in fact, her husband owned the Lacombe racetrack and restaurant. It's a really good restaurant. They got a Red Seal chef in there. It's kind of cool. So we talked about, I used the word sequencing, and I said, what we don't know and what residents don't know is what has to be started first. And maybe not first, but what has to be checked first. And she indicated as we're chatting, she said, well, what we do, and like you would do as a municipality, is go in and do a viability check of all the infrastructure. So, was the Jenny working? Can we get our water treatment plant started? Can ATCO start up the pipelines? Do we have enough folks at ATCO to help people start their furnaces or whatever, because that's one of the common concerns. And I said, that's a good idea. And then I said, we can have viability of a section of the town. The other section wasn't affected, let's say by wildfire or whatever. And then I said, we could make a maiden Thorsby plan. And she really liked that because she said, every community's different. And she said, what happens is that communication is not good enough. People get upset because they think you could just go in and start your stove, or ATCO turns on the gas, Fortis turns on the power. So she's talking about it with her team. We had a great hour-and-a-half conversation about it, and we will put together an exercise for the spring. And we'll time it so that we can do a SOL for council, the council night before. And so you can declare a local state of emergency and then lift it at the same time as we get the town started. So I think it'll be pretty exciting. And then we're gonna look at the communication plans. How do we talk to folks? We also talked about the Jasper bus stuff. And she asked me, I asked her first, and then she asked me what my thoughts were. We're of the same opinion. What would have been beneficial is for the buses to take people within that subdivision together. So let's say you have, Madison, let's say, so we find out who's all in Madison, we put them on the bus, we put an ATCO representative on the bus, we put a Fortis, we put a town staff member on that bus, and we take that community to where it's broken, because you all have that support. And the business district would be just the businesses.
So you're talking going in after the
Yeah,
fact of
What
something
they did in
having
Jasper,
happened.
and what they did was load up people from all over the place. I know their hearts are in the right place, but it doesn't work because you have folks that are looking, folks that are looking at their subdivision mixed with folks that don't even live there. And they don't know their neighbors sitting in the bus. And she agreed, she said, I think we should write a protocol to the province to say, next time that's what you need to do, because you have better support. And then she said, with the specialized services like the utilities, that includes the muni, then you just have a representative on that bus, they can ask any questions they want. And they feel better. And I said, I agree, I've been in enough disasters to know that they don't really need counsel, they need answers. They need to understand, don't start your stove and here's why, and wait till we give you the all clear and all that sort of stuff. So it was really good, so I expect to hear from her probably at the end of the month, and we'll start planning and plotting. We'll certainly invite Kalmar, Warburg, and Breton to perhaps observe, the observers, and critiques of what we're gonna do, and council here will be able to start a SOL and end a SOL, state of local emergency within that exercise, so that's pretty good. Working with a consultant from H2 Safety regarding local authority consultation under the Alberta Energy Regulator Director 071 to ensure that the town and the energy company are better prepared under Manual 026 Emergency Preparedness and Response Guide under the Alberta Energy Regulator Regulation, and this will be with Petrus.
So that's the plant over here.
That is correct. So they're gonna get a hold of us in the next week or so, and then I spent 2 hours on the phone with them, going through our emergency plan, coordinating with their emergency plan, so they have to do this under the regulator, so, which is fine. And other than that, just regular office stuff, folks coming in, just the usual really cool stuff that CEO deals with on a daily basis. And I'll stand down for questions.
All right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions or not? Oh, we'll go on to 8.2, the community peace officer report. Do you want to comment on that or just I don't see anything in it?
No.
He was sick.
Leon ended up with COVID,
Yeah.
as did most of Kalmar. So we don't have a report this month. We'll combine his report as regular.
Okay. All right, and then we'll go to Burley Public Works, please.
All right. So for the month of August, our summer students finished up with Public Works on the 27th. I met with local DEMs and deputy DEMs in regards to the upcoming changes to the emergency management system. So originally we started off with FEMA. We switched over to ICS. They're now switching it over to a combination of FEMA and ICS. Not sure why, but there was a lot of vague information given to us. Like they put jurisdiction in there, but didn't give a clarification of what a jurisdiction would be. They're now trying to regulate that your training is specific for your jurisdiction. So if you've got ICS 300, that your ICS 300 would only be good for your jurisdiction. Again, they didn't tell us what our jurisdiction was. I got better clarification on it. So when they say jurisdiction, they mean all of Alberta. I don't know why they just didn't say that in the first place. There's gonna be some additional changes to that as well, because they're now requiring training proctors. And they're only grandfathering in 3 of your courses that you have under your belt already. So if you've gone through and you've done all your ICS up to 400, and then you've gone through and done all the individual section chiefs, you can only put 3 of those in to grandfather them in. Everything else will be null and void as of 2026.
I lose my 401 and 402 over it.
Yeah. So we're still working with the AEMA in regards to how small municipalities are going to be able to afford this.
Right.
And that's why I'm trying to look with our local DEMs, Warburg, Breton, Kalmar, that kind of stuff, to see if we can kind of split that cost across to everybody. And kind of work as one for any kind of emergencies.
Yeah, I think it's one of the resolutions that they needed. One that
I've been in contact with Sean from Spruce Grove to set a date and time to pick up the hydrovac unit. That's still pending, they gotta get their paperwork in order. But we should hopefully have it here in the next little bit. Looking at it, we had one of our lawnmowers go down right at the end of the season, which was good that it went down at the end of the season. And
1985,
it's a 1985 John Deere, yes.
right.
So,
It's got another 40 years.
yeah,
So I'm 85.
yeah,
You still
so
owe money on it?
it's good, like, it'll still mow straight, you're not turning, it's got no steering. But the parts are starting to get expensive and starting to become obsolete for it. So we'll have to look at that. We set up the barricades for the show and shine to support, this year's went to support the local fire department. We had some of our staff that volunteered their time to help out at the show and shine, which was pretty awesome. And then the one thing that I forgot to put on here, and met with, went for a meeting with Flow Point up at their plant to see how everything's made. It was pretty cool. It was a lot smaller than I thought it was. I was expecting like this massive warehouse and it's not. Everything, they just come in, they got everything already laid out, they just slap it all together, weld it up, and throw the pumps in it. They test everything right there on site before it even goes out, so.
Anybody have any other questions?
Regarding barricades, I know it's a September item, but the chamber was very appreciative of your help over the weekend.
Thank you.
Yes. And with the picnic tables and everything that was done.
I'm sure it had a lot of people confused watching a loader down the street with the tables hanging off of it.
Thank you.
No problem.
I wanna get together with you, actually, I'll be, tomorrow, are you around tomorrow, yeah? I was talking with Jerry Samuel, on a long weekend there, about, he operated that plant at the river intake for the last 15 years before we took it over from Pure Oil. And just discuss some of the problems that they were having, and he might be able to give you guys some insight into that.
I would love that.
So just, you and Dave, and then maybe if Don is around and around, so I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. He said he's pretty flexible and he's not too much, so he'd be glad to come out and share some information with you.
That would be fantastic, I would love that.
I'll get together with that. Anything else? No, thank you. Parks and Recs, David,
Thank you, Your Worship. Basically, this is a wrap-up from the recreation staff with all the programming that happened over the summer. So everything wrapped up on August 15th. Looks like they played, I think it's cool, old-fashioned games including kickball, man tracker. Didn't know that was an old-fashioned one. Cops and robbers and other games, so they're lots of fun. And they attended the Lone Wolf Show and Shine to do the tattoos for the kids and brought the play equipment for the special day. And the rec center hosted a box to collect old sports equipment for kids sport and their used equipment sales. So summer programming was over the moon this year. Just, yeah, it was attributed to Samantha, and she's already planning for next year. Just very pleased. Basically, too, the ice is going in, right, Andrew? Yeah, ice is going in. The Olympia is sitting in our shop, and they're working on the ice box, I guess, basically because the old one was rotten with the wood, and so they're getting metal and stuff in there, so still working on that. And Kelly's gonna be swamped with hockey this year, so we had to move out Christmas elves out of there, and we'll be moving to the rec center this year, so that's not a bad problem to have.
yeah, it should go well. They've got a new sound system, they've got a new clock,
Yeah,
they've got new lighting in there.
100%.
They've cleaned all the boards, I looked at it the other day, it looks like a new building.
It looks amazing, yeah, very much so, so it's gonna be a great season.
Perfect.
And there's an alternate for the Christmas elves then? Where they can go?
Yeah, middle of Hankin Street.
Excellent.
Yeah, we do have another location.
All right, and then the FCS support, I think, Michaela, she's under the weather as well.
Yeah, she caught COVID in
Oh my
Kalmar,
God.
so I can tell you where Christmas Elves is going. It's going in Ashley's nail place in the back, where Lisa Grant has allowed us to lease it. So there's a big door in the back that folks can pick stuff up, there's no stairs, no anything there. So we just have to set up some tables and folks can come in from the back door and stuff. It's a really good space and it'll be good, and that way we can lock the doors. No stairs, no issues for that. So thank you to Grant. We're still working out the lease contract, but it's not gonna be much. He just said, give me something for it, so that was really nice of him. So we'll be able to put it there this year, so that's good, maybe next year too.
I wish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any questions about that? Anything? No? Not, can we get a, motion to accept the state report for information? Okay, thank you, all in favor? That's carried. All right, CFO reports, Cindy Van Leest, you're on the line there?
Oh, you're muted. I just see you talking.
Oops. Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yeah.
there we are.
Okay, so in the month of August, I covered staff shortages in the office due to vacation, developed the budget plan with CAO Donna and began working on the budget, meetings with residents, which is mostly phone calls for me, weekly staff meetings, payroll and payables, and then there were, again, no shut-offs in the month of August. I think people are starting to get it. Outstanding utilities, 77,583.47, of which only 5,475.85 is subject to shut off this month. Outstanding taxes, 322,592.57, of which 59,737.92 is up for recovery, and 66,000 is from 2023. Operating accounts, 496,000 in the operating compared to 1.4 million last year. Savings accounts, 1.4 million compared to 1.38 million last year, and nothing on the line of credit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just an addition, your worship and council, the county passed a resolution that the checks are in the mail for recreation.
We've already got it.
Perfect,
It's in the account. It came in September.
There we go. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Motion to accept the CFO report, please.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? That is carried. Okay. Correspondence, first one, 10.1. Got it around here somewhere. Chili, Donna, you wanna, what did they look like? Where they wore with chili?
sure, your posts are there, I've
You wrote
attended
on
this.
I wrote on it.
You wrote on it.
There it is.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Thanks, your worship. Basically, I've been to this years ago. It's a really good deal. This 20th of September at the Rec Center in Warburg, they have free supper and a chili cook-off. You can put your best recipe in and you get a taste of all these chilies, and there's some pretty good chilies and stuff there. So that's totally worth it on September 20th.
Thank you. I see you just have to register to go to the office.
You do, that's correct. Yeah.
10.2, letter from Rick McIver, Minister of Official Municipal Affairs, and maybe you could comment on that, Don, if you want.
Again, your worship, basically, Minister McIver did not shoot this out in email blast like he usually does. He did, but there's no paper copy coming, so this is an interesting departure for him. But basically, Municipal Affairs is providing 500,000 grant funding for the 2025 Fire Services training. And the grant provides supplemental funding supports to assist Alberta communities to ensure their local fire services are trained, respond to identified community risks. And of course, is approved for them as for delivery of this grant will align with the following key outcomes. Public safety is preserved, community risk is managed by local authorities, and firefighters are able to receive training in alignment with best practices. So I've looked at the grant information, And the chief, the interim chief, Bennett and I will chat about it and see if we can collaborate on something or see what we can do. And assist fire departments in the province to be prepared with knowledge and skills to protect their communities. I'm just assuming, because I haven't had a chance to talk to Chief Bennett, but I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of wildfire stuff, grant stuff, I would think. And so I will advise at the end of the month as to what we found out and if we apply or if we're eligible or what we're gonna do, so.
All right, thank you. Motion to accept the correspondence for information. Corey, thank you, all in favor? That is carried. Well, a short meeting today, it's just the first call we've had for 2 or 3 months, so come to this part of the program here if there's anything, public comments, anything they want to bring up, or go ahead, Irene.
Okay. Last Friday, September the 6th, who in council and mayor and administration attended Ted Willer's funeral?
And gosh, yeah, that's honestly, I'm actually surprised you just said that, I didn't actually know that.
Who was it, Ted Dillard, you said?
Yes.
Yes, it was actually on the 7th in the morning.
Friday.
No, it was
I
Friday.
attended along with
Oh, that's terrible.
Deb.
Oh, I talked to Grant about it. I talked to Grant and I said I couldn't make it.
It was 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
Okay,
The place was packed.
Yeah.
But to my disgust, nobody from council or administration attended the funeral of a person that has spent over 85 years of his life in Thorsby. His children were born and raised here. His father started the Villas Garage, taken over by Ted and now by Grant.
I
I think that
understand
is
that.
disgusting.
I understand that. I know
Well,
personally
fairness, I've talked
myself.
to you since, like, before then, and then I haven't heard about it from anyone, including you, so I didn't know, because it's the first time hearing about it. Including from you, which I have talked to.
I admit that there were some people that I spoke to that had said that they learned it was Friday at the last moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
see, and they
assumed it
didn't
was
have,
didn't know till
Saturday.
just now, it was the
and they didn't
first
have
time
it, they
you-
didn't have it in Thorsby, they had it in Edmonton.
Yes, on the 34th.
And I know personally myself, Irene, I talked with Grant, his son, and I passed on my condolences for the town. So I did personally talk to him about it before it happened.
No, it's terrible, like I said, I'm sure I would have, like.
But I just hope that you lot are treated the same manner when you die.
Well, it's something yeah, sometimes people can't be everywhere, but I guess I don't think we said that we were gonna send some flowers, I don't know if we did.
Okay, the next thing,
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Anything else yet?
this is a question really.
Okay,
Way back when we were talking about Thor and his hammer when he came apart, it was said that Matt Brewer's father was making this, that was what he did, and it would be at a value of $80,000, and he was donating it to the town. Then I heard that it was going to be $80,000, but $40,000 would be paid by the town out of my money, my tax money, and Deb's tax money,
yeah,
and
I think we can stop you on that, Corey, go ahead.
Unless you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce, it is not your money, it is 100% a Chamber of Commerce statute, paid for by them, however they paid for it. You'd have to talk to them, it's not town money, it's not your tax dollars, it's Chamber of Commerce decision and Chamber of Commerce money raised by their own means, it's not from the town.
Yeah, so zero, absolutely zero. We made that very clear, actually, we gave on Saturday, I gave a little speech, and they brought that up, and I said the same thing, that zero came out, it was all organized, it was all done by the Chamber of Commerce, and,
Yeah, what they paid, how much things cost,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the,
that's what I
whether it was
said, it's a
80,000, 40,000 or
question.
zero, don't even know, because it's
Yeah.
a Chamber of Commerce thing.
but you're right, I heard
Tracy would know,
80,
yes, she's the
and then I
Chamber
heard
rep.
40, and whatever it was, if it, yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
I just wanted to say, like, the only thing that the town had a part of in that, other than the mayor's speech, was we let them use the picnic tables and the barricades and a push board.
Yeah, and close down the roads.
That's it.
Okay, like I said, it was just a
No, that's
question.
fine. That's why I made it very clear, I thought, in front of everybody, because I know a lot of people are thinking the same thing, so. anything-
Our Thorsby sign, I see it's up, but nothing's happening with it, why?
Lots of issues that we have to do, and I'll let Dawn talk about that. It's gonna cost us quite a few dollars here, actually.
To answer your question, it's going to
We
take,
gotta get, we gotta
Power.
We gotta Wi-Fi.
and so wait for Fortis to tell me what power we need. It's gonna take internet that we might have to, we can't put a modem out there in a heated shack. So I'm, gonna call in to tell us, we need to find out what they need, not called into Blanchett Science to say, okay, what do we need for internet? Because we may have to transfer internet.
Yeah, Starlink.
Yeah, we have to,
They're one of your friends, yes,
we have to put you're right, we have to put a, commercial amount of $3,700.
for the one-time setup though, and then from that point on, it's.
So it's not in our budget, we have to put it in the
I
next
guess
budget.
my point is, yeah, like it's not actually a major problem and it doesn't involve trenching and it's a lot more
Yeah.
manageable than everything else is gonna come up with.
True, and I don't disagree with you, I remember that from the last time now, and, yeah, you're right, thanks for correcting me. So we just have to put it in next year's budget, we don't have a budget for it. The grant didn't account for, starting it up.
So why was it put there instead of up by the old chamber sign?
I can very much tell you, thanks for
Because
that.
that sign doesn't belong to any businessmen. My husband and one other businessman, two other businessmen put that sign up. My husband donated the truck and the poles for that sign, and they donated the rest.
That's a big chamber sign, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your worship, I can answer that question. The sign was supposed to go there, they had a permit there for it. At the time, the permit was valid because they were gonna saw down the chamber sign. When the new chamber started, they did not saw down the chamber sign. Therefore, transportation said you must move it because you can't have those two competing signs. So I had to apply for a new permit and a new location. The location where it is now, we still can't advertise on it, but that was a secondary location. So I had to look for a new permit and a new location because transportation wouldn't allow it there anymore. Because the chamber sign is staying. Originally, there was gonna be sawed down, there was some correspondence to that, I checked with, before the new chamber started, and that was the plan, but.
Well, that new chamber never paid for that sign or did anything with that sign, so cut it down, who cares?
Well, it's up to them, I don't own it, right? The town doesn't
They don't
own it.
own it either.
I don't know.
I think the chamber's made improvements on it
They
very
were
recently.
charging people for advertising, and they brought out today, did they?
Yeah, it's all up to current.
Yeah, so there's quite a few, advertising signs on there,
They're paying the
and the
power
chamber
on
gets
it.
revenue from them.
Mhm.
So if they were to knock down that sign, they would lose that revenue, I guess. And we don't own that one, that's all Alberta Transportation, we don't own any of that triangle in there. No. Zero. So where it is currently, that is town line.
Once we get the budget, we'll start her up.
And about grading, I asked for my alley to be fixed. I got a front end loader dragging its blade across the holes, trying to fill them holes in with gravel. Well, that alley is just as bad as it was. The front of my street, that hole is getting bigger, somebody's dumped gravel in it. Are we waiting till that road gets like 53rd Avenue before anything's done? This is getting to be ridiculous. This town actually looks like a dump. I'm afraid to say I drive to Calamar, right a mile out of their town. Everything is nice. This place, half the time that town, the weeds aren't even mowed up at that town sign. So what makes anybody want to come into this town when they see a sign that's not even well kept? They can mow around the cross from where one of the kids died, but they can't do our town sign.
So we don't grade back alleys. We don't run the grader down the back
Why?
alleys. We never have.
Yes, you have.
No, we have not.
Yes.
Since I have started, we have never, ever done it. I've been here
They're
for,
not supposed to if they did, because they're undeveloped, every back alley in the.
Yes,
town.
they are. Our alley is developed. Lloyd Snyder's alley was
No,
developed,
it's
and they used to
considered
be
an undeveloped
graded
right
all the time.
No, Debbie, it's considered an undeveloped laneway that private individuals have developed it, it's not officially been developed by the town, there's a distinction.
No.
Like, Debbie, my back alley from my place, it's grass, like it looks really nice, I cut it every week.
If you
Yeah,
chose
you
to put a
guys
bunch of
do.
gravel back there, then that would be your.
But if somebody wants to come down that back alley and rip the hell out of it and go back and forth, there's absolutely anything I can do, nothing, because it's undeveloped.
There's alleys here that have been developed that this town has let go. They are utility corridors and the utility trucks can't even get down them. One is by John Elson's place. One is behind my son's place. So what happens if a pole goes down?
Well, they have their right there, they go down there because they're undeveloped, right? So one way, like over behind Arctic Spas here by Mooney's place used to be, that back alley there.
Yeah.
They went down there this summer, they came in, they brought a whole bunch of mats. They put matting from one end of the back alley to the other end. And they never even, if I'm correct on it, they didn't even advise us because it was their right to do so.
That is correct, and then they had to do some fixing after it dried. Yeah, because even with the rig mats, it caused some ruts, but they run rig mats for that whole job.
But it is a fact that every back alley is in town is determined and labeled as undeveloped. And I mean, if people take their pride and look after it, like I do in my back alley, but if somebody wants to come in there and disturb it, and, I can't stand there with a stick and chase them away. It's just the way it is.
By developing it, they take responsibility for ensuring that it's developed to an adequate standard.
Excuse me, the people did not develop our back alley.
They did.
The town did. You weren't here 49 years ago when I moved here.
Okay, well,
I know
have to
what
go by
happened.
what's documented there, Debbie.
Pardon
I
me?
have to go by what's documented, not by what you recall, I have to go by what the documents say.
I'd like to see them documents because I know we did not develop our alley.
Every map that we have, everything I've ever seen, it's an undeveloped laneway. Never seen anything that says otherwise, so.
What year, Debbie? 19?
I moved here 1976.
All right, a couple here. You guys, did you have something to say?
No, we're observers.
You're just here to. take
We're
in-
new. We just moved into whose house?
Don't tell.
He knows.
Oh, Kiwanis.
Okay.
So a lot of work to go into that house.
Okay.
Are you putting up a fence or?
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
this is, we have, and I'm just probably know it, but this is what we call a council of the whole meeting, and it's very informal. That's why we invite the public here, and they can make their little say, if we have our regular one at the end of the month, it's a little more formal, and you have to be on the agenda to. But, thank you very much, and what is your names?
The Reynolds, Kevin, Erica,
Oh, okay.
Your
came-
wife hasn't introduced us to you?
Well, she knows me, yeah. She hasn't introduced me to you guys.
we
but,
came
yeah.
to meet, with Donna and we were super impressed with you,
Yeah.
so don't let that go to your head though.
Oh,
No, it was, we
I heard
enjoyed
you
it.
were a council person in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, he was. And I'm a policy analyst through government, so if you wanna talk policy, we can do that.
Yeah.
I have no problem debating anything like that.
Yeah.
I enjoy, just setting things, Kevin gets a real big bang out of being on
Yeah.
council, so. He's an ex-developer, he's retired, but he will continue to work.
So you're gonna run for council next?
Elections
This
next
one,
October
yeah.
in a year?
Yeah, I'll give you a heads up right now, I'm running for council.
That sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I guess, I give them pointers too, as an government employee, there's a lot that I've learned, you know, about ministries in Saskatchewan, so. I love to, and I would love to just hang around with Donna all day, but she wouldn't like that, so.
You can hang around with me all
The
day.
more I can learn, I would love it, I just think she's amazing, you're lucky to have her, I'm just gonna say that, so.
You can hang around with me anytime. I just won't come in the office.
But we appreciate this so far, yeah, everybody we've met in Thorsby, they've been good to us, so.
I wouldn't, if you guys are up for a suggestion, just something to think about. As us being new to town, there's a lot of stuff that, other residents have let us know on, where the town could have. Well, it's got nothing to do with COVID.
Okay.
Forget the COVID thing.
Okay.
It just, we weren't aware that there was a hardware store in town until we had talked to somebody else. So like just on the advertising and stuff, I know we got a list of stuff. But until you actually start going to look for stuff, you don't really know. Like it took me the longest time to figure out where the hell Main Street was because there's nothing on Main Street besides turnaround.
Well, I thought there was going to be a bag of
Like I know, like,
connections.
I used to literally go door to door, and I thought they still did, like with every new resident, the town used to tell us whenever there was a new.
And isn't there still a business
And we'd
directory?
literally go with we'd have like stuff from all the different local businesses, like free stuff, and like there was a map and a list of like the business directory and stuff, and we'd literally go give it to them, and go, welcome to the town. Check out the
Yeah, I
anymore.
feel like we discussed this not long ago, and I had suggested bag of connections or something, is that what did it end up getting called that? Cause I saw that written somewhere, but.
I don't know, they say it's a chamber function, in other words, like, it's never been the town, it's always been the chamber. I'd say the town just kind of gave us the names and, you know, dates of whatever, so we knew if someone moved in on whatever, you wait a week or whatever, till after they moved in, you go in.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything from the chamber that they've been going around.
They used to, and that's, yeah.
So what do we have on the website, Jesse, as far as like our business, when people get a permit for a business firm, do we list them all on the website?
Yep, we've got
So
a
that's
full
one
business
way to
directory.
go from there. Like all the businesses, you go to the town website, all the businesses should be listed there.
No, but I agree, it was nice, I feel like, for new residents and for supporting local business. I mean, the local businesses want people to come shop,
Right.
and a new resident doesn't even know they exist. It seems like something the chamber used to do, I thought was really good, that, I don't know when it stopped, but we should bring that up again, because I thought was a very good thing.
Yeah, I like the one-page business directory that you could usually get off the front counter.
Yeah.
And it
Well, that's the
gave-
one we picked up.
Okay,
It's
But
getting
still,
too
like
big.
for brand new people coming to
Yeah.
town and, yeah, we've driven up roads, this and that, and that's vacant, and you don't know about this one or that one. Like just kind of.
Yeah.
I guess when I first drive into town, I really don't know where Main Street is. Cause there's really like no indicator, or I'm just old and I didn't see the sign.
Well, Calmar's
Didn't
is
we
the
have a
highway
sign?
driving through the town, so that's the tip,
Right.
right?
did we have a
Right.
sign by Ranchlands that was
We used
pointing
to.
to Main Street?
We used to.
No.
It was a whole, that was a whole big thing, yeah.
That was the whole big thing.
It's in cold storage.
Yeah.
I don't know the
I
whole
mean, that's
story
something-
behind that.
Something, Tracy, you could bring up with the chamber, I mean.
Well, the sign could go back up, but actually, I thought I had today, and I actually sent the hotel owner a question about it because I haven't gone over to the building to observe. The hotel bar side is actually a family restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it says on the exterior of the building, families welcome, kids welcome, because most people would say, oh, that's a bar, you don't take your kids into the bar normally, but yes, you do, here you do.
It's
Not on the VLT side.
Yeah, it's interesting because the door, like the main door for the VLT side, says no minors allowed.
Yeah,
So you would
but does it-
assume that no minors are allowed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's obviously conspicuous, a bar entrance is the one where minors are allowed.
Yeah.
And so then my question for him is, yeah, do the other entrances say families welcome? Because I really don't think it does, and somebody new coming to town would say, oh, well, how many restaurants choices do we have? We'll scratch off the bar because we've got kids with us, but it's like, no, you can take your kids there. So, yeah, there is always,
Honestly, Jerry's
I
the
don't know.
longest time when I first moved here, Cause Jerry's, we always walk there, and it's the lounge on like that side. And the side that's on the highway, it's like kind of the more, less conspicuous entrance, there's not a parking lot there, it's just like the back door.
Mm-hmm.
So we just assumed for the longest time, I thought it was just the bar. Like, I literally didn't know it was a restaurant on the other side for months.
Getting back to my point though, we're sort of going left, right?
Yeah.
My point was when I first come into town, how do I find Main Street? That was my point. So whether there's a sign, an arrow or something saying Main Street, as a new person here, I wanna see what's on Main Street, right? What businesses are here, I know that they branch out, they go around the corner and all the other stuff. But just to be able to come in, drive in, find out where Main Street is, cause if, you guys got a nice boulevard there if that's developed, you know? But at least that's your main attraction to me as a developer for a community, you wanna know where the hell Main Street is. And to that has to stand out somehow, and it just didn't really stand out until I Googled it, and then I found out where Main Street was, and 2 lefts and a right, then you turn and you just go, where's Main Street besides Boulevard? That's kind of my point. So, you know.
A little bit, I guess.
May I ask this a question, and maybe Andrew can answer it, or maybe someone in the council, what's the controversy over the sign with Main Street, why is it called?
I think it actually had something to do with the railroad tracks.
No, it was,
No, it's the
Nina was
owner.
very upset about it.
It was,
The owner was upset about the sign.
okay,
The meat company, the meat.
Yeah, cause it was on his.
We made him shovel his snow, he didn't wanna shovel his snow, and because we made him shovel his snow, he was very upset that the sign was encroaching on his property, and if he had to shovel snow, he wasn't all okay with the sign.
Okay,
well,
alright.
just so everybody's aware, the railroad tracks are officially decommissioned.
Oh, it's been on the 5-year list since 2011, so
They
that's
have
nice to
officially
find
put
around for
garbage
5 years.
bags over the lakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been 20 years in the making, that's impressive.
So that being said, we don't have the restrictions of being able to put signs up and blocking our
Okay.
lanes.
So we could easily put that Main Street sign closer to the railway tracks to turn you that direction.
Or we can talk to the owner of the property across the street by the water treatment plant, put it right in the corner there, maybe.
There's,
It was on,
no,
it was on
there's
Ranch
boulevards
Farms
there
is
at
where it
the,
used to be.
in front of Petro, there's boulevard there where you could put it.
We could,
Yeah,
It's just on the other side, like at Ranch Signs, there's the tire shop, there's pavement, there's nowhere to put it there.
no,
And then at the Ranch Signs corner, there's grass and stuff, it's his property right up to the sidewalk, and the sidewalk's right at the road, and
Yeah.
there's nowhere other than private property to put it there.
right.
But yeah, no, I like, just across the road at Petro, that's visible, right, that's.
We could also put it on the other side where we're going to water treatment plant on that corner too, because
Yeah.
we certainly know the owners, and I'm pretty confident they give us permission to put it in the corner.
Yeah, no, it was honestly like a silly, like ridiculous reason to take down, and
Wow.
yeah, that's why it
It's a nice
that's why it's up there
sign.
anymore.
I think all it says is Main Street that way, and
yeah, so
Nice
Thorsby
sign.
Thorsby
That,
logo
and,
with Main Street.
We can't make a resolution at this one, but
No.
Rick Arnold will look into it.
Let's see, I have administrative, I'm interested in.
You certainly can, it's an administrative function. No, you can't run for council, you'll be exhausted. Awesome, nope, administration will look after that, and based on the public comments, we'll pull the maps, 76, we've got all those, we'll take a look for you, Debbie, we'll see if we've got correspondence, see if we have documentation, Jesse and I will look after that. And we'll definitely send the Miller family flowers, that was my mistake, I didn't know when the funeral was either, I apologize. I will say, Debbie, that at the start of the Thorsby celebration, when they had the speeches, they called for a minute silence in order to, they talked about it, and called for a minute silence, and everybody in that park went silent. So it's pretty cool, so I'll make sure the family gets that. So those are our 3 takeaways from the public comments.
Thank you. Anything else? If not, then I'll take a, motion for take
I'm gonna 10-minute recess, and
come back in camera. All right, all in favor? Carried. Thank you.